We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hey, haven't done anything in the last couple of days. Well, at least you think I haven't done anything in the last couple of days. But I have done things in the last couple of days. You just don't get to see them or hear them because there was a corruption involved and none of it worked. So anyway, hey, welcome to the Martial Heart Podcast. If this is your first time coming here, this is me. I had a heart attack, had a couple of them back in August, and this whole podcast is about recovering, getting back to normal as you can get, and hopefully returning to the things you love, like martial arts training, which for me, that's what I'm trying to work my way back to, is getting back into martial arts classes, having my regular workout routine. So for those of you who've been around, there's a slight difference in the background here. That's because we've moved the recording space. And that became an impromptu all-weekend project, because once we decided that we're gonna do that, we were just gonna tackle that, grab it by the horns and do it, then we started picking it apart and realizing, well, first we need to do this, first we need to do that, and then we need to do this, and then we need to do that, and then we can probably do the thing that you want to do. There was a lot of preparation work and different things that had to be done, including painting. So I'm not done. There's more to do in the sound treatment area, but we've already done some. And we're going to do a little bit more, but the background's a little smaller than it was when I was in the other room. I'm just taking up a little less space because there really wasn't any need for me to take up that much space, other than I liked putting things on the wall and letting people look at them. But I still got helmet guy over here, and the sound panels that I made that one. There's other ones around, but you just can't see them. They're not in the shot. And also this. That's a new microphone. And it's currently running without any equalization into the Zoom PodTrack P4 and right into the computer. And I'm going to explain something else to you about why suddenly I'm telling you that, because I've used a variety of audio interfaces and microphones, as you know. And one of the issues that I had was that over this weekend, when I was starting Friday, when I was trying to record an episode, is that I didn't have a redundancy built into this audio chain, or, this recording chain, if you will. So if something went wrong with the computer or the digital audio workstation, or OBS, which is the one that I'm using. It's more of a media thing, not just audio. But if anything happened in there, including a power outage, the whole thing's done for. And something got corrupted so that it would let me record. It would show me that it was recording. It would save the file at the end, and it would place it in the file where my completed recordings go, where later I would access them and upload them to the various places. But you couldn't watch it. Once you clicked on the clip on the video, it would tell you that you can't open it. And then later, after screwing around with it for half of a day, it would let you look at it, but there was no sound. So you could you'd just see the video, and there would be no sound, even though every indication was that everything was normal, perfectly normal during the recording process. So Zoom products, as well as some other things, allow you to, they have onboard recording, is what I'm trying to get to. So you can record on that at the same time you're recording into the computer, into your digital workstation. So there's now a redundancy built in, and this is a device I already had, but I was using it for mobile, being out and about, because it's really a mobile device. It's a small little thing, and it's really pretty cool. It's kind of my favorite thing that I've come in contact with since doing this. But it's recording right now on its own while I'm recording into the computer, just as a redundancy. That way, if something does happen to this, which it may, I don't know, at least I have the audio saved on another device, and I can upload that, and at least there will be an audio version of the podcast, which I'm sure most people are listening to anyway. So the only people who are going to go without are going to be the video crowd, and there probably aren't that many people who are watching the video exclusively. So the microphone, I believe this may be the final one. This is going to be the forever microphone, and this is the Rode Procaster, and I came across this at a really good price, actually. Bought it used. You couldn't tell it was used. It doesn't have any markings on it or anything like that, but it's a gigantic microphone. And inside its shock mount, which is this thing that prevents it from picking up things when you hit them, it's gargantuan, I think is the term. But this is a legitimate broadcast microphone. And for some reason, once I tried this one, I thought, okay, this is the one, because I think it has the best sound with my voice so far of all the microphones I've tried. And I think I'm going to stop looking now. I'm going to stick with this one for a while. And right now it's running with no equalization or anything. It's just going in raw recording. I'm not even running a noise gate or noise suppression currently. And that was one of the reasons why I was going to move the recording space. I happened to pick a really cool spot in the house that also happened to be the center of a lot of the low-level rumblings and ambient noise generated by the house. Fans, laundry rooms, bathrooms, refrigerator, because even in that room where I was recording, there's a mini fridge in there. And so it was picking up a lot of noise. You guys probably couldn't hear it, but I could, and it was annoying for me. And then I would have to run a noise suppression program or, a noise gate, which, it cuts out things below a certain level. But when you do that, then you get this kind of choppiness in the audio. Because these are like basic tools that I'm using. They're not expertly tuned. I don't have anything that I can tweak just perfectly so that it doesn't sound weird. So your typical noise gates on, noise gates off, set it at this decibel level kind of thing. You sometimes get this weird distorted kind of audio when you decide to speak softly, or when my voice goes down here like that, it would all of a sudden start going just like that, actually. Exactly like that. Not really, but close enough. So the noise gate was cutting out my actual voice because it was cutting out certain things below a certain decibel. And my voice sometimes goes below that. So anyway, quieter part of the house. We're doing a lot more sound treatment in here. It's going to be decorative as well. So this is still going to be a usable room. It's our spare bedroom / office kind of thing. This is where Zoom meetings are going to happen. This is where remote work is going to happen. This is where recording the podcast is going to happen. And but it can also still be used as a bedroom for when we have guests. And I think it's going to work out great. But it was an all-weekend project to get it set up, just so I could sit here and do this right now. So, but the reason why you didn't hear from me for a couple of days was because I tried, and the system just wasn't cooperating with me. As a matter of fact, yesterday morning, I sat down and I recorded a 45-minute long episode. And I discussed numerous things in that recording, and it was corrupted and it's gone. And it was unusable, so it's now out there in the ether somewhere. And it's a little crazy. So that's what prompted this. I was like, I've really got to start changing things around. Not that the room or where I was recording had anything to do with it. It didn't. But I had to uninstall OBS, uninstalled some other programs I was running, deleted everything, reinstalled stuff, started over from scratch. And then I had to build, this whole program and do it all over again. And so, yeah, it was very frustrating. And, but then, got involved in this project. And I think it's going to turn out pretty good. But anyway, different color schemes. It's going to be a lot more bright than I would make it, because I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm partially colorblind. So I see a lot of gray, and we painted this room gray. So there's gray stuff on the wall, and there's gray paint. So to me, this room might as well have been teal or like a pink color, because I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. This color gray that we painted it is the color that a lot of other things look to me. Fun times. So it's going to be a lot more colorful to everyone else, but probably not to me. It's probably going to all blend in if we get into some lighter shades and stuff. But I'm not going to be in charge of the decorating. I don't care. I told my wife, I was like, do whatever. I don't care. And she was like, yeah, I don't think you really mean that. So I said, I don't care. Do whatever. So don't be surprised if there's some girly stuff that shows up in the podcast. So anyway, enough of that. But that's why I haven't been around for a couple of days. I've been busy and nothing was working for me. And every once in a while, I'm just going to look around and I'm going to verify that we're recording stuff. As far as I can tell, we are. In two different places. Anyway, fun times. Not really. It was not fun times. So I'm feeling okay. The last few days have been all right. I don't know. Thursday of last week, I wasn't great. I wasn't great at all. And I really don't know why. And that's beginning to be one of the frustrating things, is that out of the blue, all of a sudden, I don't feel good. And it's not like I feel like I'm having a heart attack or having an issue with my heart or anything like that. It's just some days, boom, I will get hit with chest pressure, nausea, and things like that. And as far as I know, I'm not altering my routine at all. So I'm not sure what's happening or why it happens. But Thursday was one of those days. It just wasn't great for me. And I don't know. I didn't take any different medications. I took them at the same time as I took everything, as I do every other day. I ate basically the same as I did the previous day. I didn't do anything different there. So I have no idea where it comes from. So it gets frustrating, and I start to get kind of upset that it's this unpredictable thing. And for several days, I'll feel great. I'll feel normal again. Like I don't need to worry about anything because, hey, my strength is back. I feel healthy. I'm moving around. I'm doing this cardio stuff. Nothing's bothering me. And all of a sudden, then, you have one of those days. And I don't get it. And nobody can explain it to me about why that happens. But that's where we've been ever since then, other than the frustrations of trying to do a podcast that didn't want to cooperate with me. Everything's been okay. So I'm fine today. I was fine yesterday. I felt pretty good Friday. And so I don't know. Hopefully those days will be few and far between. But if they continue to happen, it's just going to continue to frustrate me. And you're probably not going to get a podcast on those days because I'm not going to feel like doing it. The thing that we talked about for so long that you're never going to know about was on. We were actually talking about some martial arts stuff. And so we're going to have to go back and revisit that one of these days. Maybe this week sometime, but I'll find time to do it. At least one. And like I said before, I don't know if I said it on the recordings that didn't make it. And you guys don't know what I said at all if I ever mentioned this before. Forgive me. But I'm thinking about separating out, having more than one podcast. But the one thing that I figured out this week is that, I'm going to have to get rid of a bunch of audio equipment now because the piece of equipment that I'm using now is something that I bought before, and I bought it for the purposes of, doing things mobile. And but it's going to be the at-home device as well now because it has the onboard recording and all of that I need in order to have the redundancy built in. So I purchased a couple of really cool audio interfaces that I'm now not going to use. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm going to have to put those on the eBay store. The eBay store. Hey, you should go check it out. I don't put like hundreds of things on there. Basically, I just put 3 or 4 things on there at a time and sell them for that week. And then, if they don't sell, they automatically get reposted. But if they do sell the next week, I just put 3 or 4 more things on. I don't put a whole bunch of them on because I don't want to try to manage all of that or remember any of that crap. I just want to, if it's 2, 3, 4 items, I can keep that all straight and I can set them aside and keep them ready to be boxed up and shipped. So I don't want to have a room full of stuff that I'm going to have to try and keep straight and remember what sold to who and box it up. I'm just not interested in that. I'm not running a store, really, a business of selling stuff on eBay. Even though eBay loves me. And they're, I could sell another $5 million worth of merchandise this month. I don't know where they come up with these numbers or how they think that I might have $5 million worth of merchandise laying around my house that I'm willing to sell. I don't know what people have been saying about me, but it's not true. It's not true. But yeah, they say I can still sell like $4,998,000 whatever dollars worth of merchandise this month. So I don't know. Some people must be making a ton of money on eBay. We're not. We're just selling things that are taking up space in our house that we need to get rid of, and some of it's going to get thrown away. But anything that we see that we think somebody might want, we're putting that on eBay. So it's really just us clearing out stuff. So you're going to have to let me know about the microphone. I have a couple of pop filters for it. It has a pretty robust built-in pop filter, but I know that this microphone really wants you to get close to it, and so it's going to pick up a lot of my P's and plosives, is what they call that. So I have a couple of pop filters that work for it already. So just let me know if it's annoying the way it sounds right now with my being too close and plosives, but I'll put a pop filter on it. But I wanted you to see it in all of its glory. Its magnificence. It's actually, I think it's beautiful. I think it's nice. I like it. It's very traditional. It's like a broadcast microphone. It's very similar in look to some microphones that were invented back in the mid-'60s for broadcasters and radio guys. And actually, I think they were originally, it was the RE20 and its family of microphones. And they were originally invented for musicians, for singers. And then radio DJs got a hold of them and said, wow, this is a great microphone for just spoken word stuff. And it became ubiquitous in the radio industry, apparently. And this one's very similar to it in look. I'm sure they sound different. And this one's, even brand new, costs about half of what that other one does. But I liked the way this one sounded when I first did the recordings. Now that I'm in a different space, I'm in a different area, I'm using different interfaces, And I'm going to have different reflections and things like that because this room is shaped differently and I have things in different locations. So hopefully the sound quality that I liked when I tested this microphone out a couple of days ago when I got it will be, similar. Hopefully it's not, wow, it sounds like trash in this room. I don't want that to happen. But I'm not running any equalization right now. This is just a raw microphone recording directly into the thing. I added some compression because that's helpful for people who are listening. But it doesn't, color the sound really that much. It sometimes boosts the gain a little. But that's all that's happening right now. And so we're going to see how this works out. But even just the look of it, it's cool. It looks cool. I don't know. I think it looks cool. And it's all about being cool and looking cool. So that's all you got to know. I'm going to probably wrap this up. I've got a bunch of stuff more to do. I'm not done with all the chaotic stuff we had to do this weekend. There's still more left to do. And tomorrow starts yet another week of work and cardiac rehab and life. So my apologies to the people who wanted me to do things this weekend. It's not happening. I had a bunch of stuff at home I needed to do because we're way behind on everything. So it's time for us to start taking care of our own house for a while and get it all in order so we can relax again. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I hope you have a great week. Start your week off right. Get off your butt. Go do some exercise. Do something. Do some push-ups. All you guys out there, do some push-ups. And then do some cardio. Take care of your heart and take care of everyone else. And I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.